What is up, everybody, on this early Halloween evening? Us horror fiends' favorite time of the year. Getting ready to do a watch along of my favorite film ever made, the one that brought me to horror to begin with, Halloween 1978, done by John Carpenter and Debra Hill. Don't forget about Debra Hill. In my opinion, she is just as responsible. If you know the knowledge that I do about it, you read the things, watched documentaries, you know she's just as responsible for it being as great as it is as John Carpenter is. Now, let me see. Looks like I got 5 set of eyes, 10 total on me right now. Talk to me. Talk to me during this because I'm doing this one solo, folks. I'm doing this on my own, unless somebody else joins me or whatever. I'm doing this one on my own, so feel free to talk to me. I want to talk all anybody wants to. First, let me address a big elephant in Instagram land. I put out a post giving my opinion on Halloween Ends. It's the only time I ever going to talk about Halloween Ends because just I'll just leave it like that. Um, I put out my opinion on it, and my opinion in someone in the movie and someone that's responsible for the ending and the way it went, the way a lot of us don't like. Um, Me especially. I'm a lifelong fan of this movie since 1979, from the time I can remember. And I guess there's some people who don't like my opinion, don't like some things I said, disagree with me. That's fine. You can disagree with me all you want. I'm still going to tell you how I feel about it, what I think about it, and how it is to me. Just like how it is to you is how it is to you. But I shouldn't have to argue and explain myself. I've had to do this a couple of times now, and from now on, I'm just going to ignore it. But I've made myself clear. I don't like it. I made myself clear. I made a thing this freaking fucking long in 2 sections on it. So if you don't like that, then go fuck yourself. I guess I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. I don't sit around and say your opinion is wrong, so don't tell me mine is. Have a nice time. What's up, Prism? Thanks for coming by. Hopefully, we get some more people here to watch along with us. Thank you for coming by here. A lot of people are probably busy. I'll probably catch a lot on the replay, but that's cool. I just for the first time ever, I wanted to do a watch along. I wanted to watch this one live with some people who appreciate it like I do. Did you enjoy the Mountaintop Motel last night? Great film. Great film. I forgot to ask you, have you ever watched it? I guess while I'm at it, I'll go ahead and show off some. Here's the VHS. It's got that lenticular cover. DVD, original. This is actually a Shout Factory DVD. What was Anchor Bay? This this is the old Anchor Bay. This is the extended release with the footage that they put in while they was making Halloween 2, to stretch it and make it longer so that it covered the 2 hour runtime. This is the 25-year anniversary. Um, it's got the documentary and all that kind of stuff on it. Kind of a must-have for a big Halloween fan. The original Anchor Bay Blu-ray. 35th anniversary, yeah, 35th anniversary, kind of skinny media book. America just don't do them like Germany does. They just don't give the love to the media book. Speaking of German media books, this is one of my very favorite releases of it. That nice soft padding to it. It's really freaking cool, and it's got a much better book in it. Much better job done. First 4K release of it, Lionsgate. The Best Buy exclusive steel book, which I thought was very pretty, very cool. Nice little slip on it there. You slip it up, you lose Halloween, and you lose I don't know. This looks cool anyway. And then the Screen Factory 4K release. It's got the 4K upscan on the Blu-ray and on the it's got the extended edition. It's got all the documentaries. Best release of Halloween to this date. wanted to get my hands on the Midnight series of Halloween, actually. Oh yeah, Eric's really cool, dude, man. I hope to do some more watch alongs and some more work with him. I want to do some countdowns with him. I think that'd be really interesting. Oh yeah, soft media books are very cool. Hey Ninja, what's up? How you doing? Hey Adrian, you made it. Thanks a lot. I really appreciate that. A lot of people I figure are probably busy right now doing the Halloween thing. It's probably a bad time to do it, but okay, now that I got my Halloween ends and the people who are disagreeing with my opinion rant out of the way right away, I could be in a good mood now. I mean, it really agitated me to the point of a headache earlier, and I thought, why let that shit give me a headache? Um, for those who do want to watch along with me, um, if you don't have the physical copy, it's free on Redbox. Does Redbox have a streaming service now or something? I'll plug that shit in, Adrian. Oh, you got one of those little short, little stubby cords. Um, Fubo TV, Philo, or Philo. It's on Shutter on Prime, which I'm sure a lot of people probably have. And it's going to be on tonight without commercials and cutting out all the good shit on AMC. I imagine a lot of people have the physical copy. You know, imagine most true, really big horror fans have. So, whenever everybody is together and ready, I'm going to start this. I don't know how much I'm going to talk during it because, any question, anything you don't know, definitely let me know. I'm trying just to answer them. I used to probably be able to answer them 100%, but I could probably still do a pretty good 95% answering on this. I don't follow 78 like I used to. Um, I got a little disheartened. This latest trilogy disheartened me right out of it for a while, but it still is the most important film of my life. You know what I mean? Yeah. Did you see that, Ninja? You see the old Anchor Bay lenticular? Seen its better days, but still in good shape. I sold all my copies. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I got 11 copies. Here, let me back this up and get that out of there before fucking YouTube fucks me right in the ass. Also, let me show off Halloween 2. Here's the Screen Factory Halloween 2 with the slip. Halloween 2 Steelbook. I think that artwork is absolutely beautiful. It's awesome. And then the Halloween 2 4K. I only got up to Halloween 3 on the Screen Factory 4Ks in the sets. I didn't get any of that new stuff because I'm not a fan. Halloween 78 is my favorite film of all time. I do love Halloween 2, 1981. I like Halloween 3 a lot. Halloween 4 is okay, except I can't stand the mask. Um, but as far as I'm not a huge fan of the whole franchise. Now, Halloween 3 Screen Factory with the slip. Some more good artwork. Halloween 3 Screen Factory Steelbook, which I think is really, really nice too. And then Halloween 3 4K. And what I showed you here is the extent of my Halloween. Now, after I'm done here, I'm going to show off what's going to be one of my next projects that I'm really excited about here in a couple of months, right around Christmas time, so you can guess what that's going to be. So, I'm getting ready to go here. Let me turn this down. Unfortunately, I wish I could listen to it too. See if I can hear it just a little bit, but let's go ahead and go for it. On 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, it's got all that stuff to it. Well, if anybody started, hang on just 1 minute here. Just Transys International decided to stick its face in here on this latest release. And another Compass International sticking its new little logo in there too. Just 1 minute. Okay. Now, Cool. All right. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I mean, I could, but I don't believe that this particular 4K that I have has a fucking plug. Believe it or not, need to get one that has a plug, don't I? I would imagine about everybody and his brother has done a done a watch along of Halloween up to now. But that's all right, man. But yeah, I had a lot of fun last night. Um, Eric, I never met him before, and before I started my channel, what happened was how I got to know Eric from Mountaintop Nine was it was a period here about 3 years ago. I believe it or not, I didn't have any machines going. I couldn't play any discs. They all kind of died all at the same time. So I was looking for Mountaintop Motel Massacre to watch, and I typed it up on YouTube, and his channel came up. And then that's when I, watched a couple of his videos to find out how passionate he was about that, man. How passionate he was about that film. And it's one that a lot of people don't even know exists. So finally, after a couple of years of having a channel and everything, I figured, fuck it. I've been doing these watch alongs. They've been going real good. I figured I'll ask him, can you? How about now? Is that better? Yeah, I don't want to fly. I don't have any flags. Don't want to start. That should be pretty cool. Yeah, that is a good point. I do need to get a TV with a headphone jack so I can, you know. But anyway, what I was saying is, but yeah, that's how I got to know his channel. I just one day decided to ask him, and he didn't hesitate. And he had never done anything live before. Last night was his first ever live show, so I felt quite honored that because he's been around for years, and had never done a live show. He done his first live one with me, so that was pretty cool. I thought. Does anybody know who carved the jack o' lantern on the beginning title screen? I would be willing to bet that it was probably either Debra Hill or Tommy Wallace. Tommy Wallace is like that X Factor man. He's the one that made the mask. You know what I mean? He's that what I call the garbage guy. He's the one that does all the little things that doesn't really get a lot of credit, but is so important. You know what I mean? He's that guy in this film. Yeah, and also yeah, also the director of Halloween 3. I can't hear it now this morning. You don't want to, right? Thank you. I appreciate that very very much. Yeah, and like I said before, if I ever get a chance to talk, you know what I mean, if I got somebody else, if I got a guest or whatever, which I usually do, um, for this one, I didn't ask anybody. I just decided to just do it straight out, so I have more time to talk to whoever, or whatever. But what I was talking about. Anyway, let's get back to the he's the garbage. Yeah, he's the one that does all that little shit that's so important in a film. All those little things count. Even the way the eyes are shaped on that jack o' lantern to begin, all that shit counts. If those eyes are different, if that nose is different, if that mouth is a little bit different, it makes a difference in the impact it has on you. You know what I mean? And how you feel about the film. It really does. But oh yeah, I was saying, if I'm by myself, you know what I mean? Like I am by myself right now, it gives me a chance to really talk. You know, it's Michael a few times. Yep, she's playing Michael right now. As a matter of fact, she reaches in and grabs the knife. Tommy Lee Wallace played him. Tommy Lee Wallace. So Tommy Lee Wallace, he actually wore the mask during the closet scene when he listened through the closet. Tommy Lee Wallace is such an overlooked, important member of this crew in this film. Just like I always say, John Carpenter's Halloween. I always thought it should have said as far as the creating and the writing of the script and everything. She wrote damn near just as much. Debra Hill did damn near just as much of the script as he did. All the stuff between the girls, You know, Lori and Linda and Annie and all that stuff was written by Debra Hill. So I always thought it should say John Carpenter and Debra Hills Halloween. That's how I try to write it usually. I was going to write it on my ticker tape here, but I didn't have time. I forgot that I didn't make a ticker. So I did it really quick here so I wouldn't be too late. I remember as a kid watching this when they played it on regular TV, you know, when they added the extra footage and everything in, the eyes were real skinny so that you couldn't see the, you know, see the boobs and all, which is a shame because, you know, she has beautiful boobs. You know, I believe that they should be able to be enjoyed by everyone. Well, not enjoyed by everybody, you know, looking at them. Boobs are joyful. Even most women these days agree with that. So I'm not trying to drive everybody away. I'm just look at me as an old pervert or something. But yeah, yes, it was her hands. Yeah, they did it because she had the small hands. They look like kids' hands. So you know. But you notice that little thing when you're coming down the stairs there, that they were definitely taller than what a 6-year-old would have been. You know, that's like way up here. Sorry, I didn't mean to talk too much about booze with you on here. I'm not trying to embarrass you by everything. You know me. I just talk. You know, I just talk. I'm just me. It's like a curse. I have to be me all the time. I think a lot of people get away with getting on YouTube here and putting on a show and be like, "Hey, how you doing? It's great to see you back." Blah blah. Hit that like and subscribe. Yeah, that's real. And they can get away with doing that. I couldn't do that if I tried. Don't want to, but I couldn't do that. That's just not me. It's just not me. It'd be ridiculous. Can you imagine me going, "Hey guys, how you doing? Thanks for coming back to my channel. Hit that like, hit that subscribe, hit that notification bell to get all my latest videos." Not to point fun at the people that do that, but it's just, you know, it's a little disingenuous if you ask me. You know, we're not network television. You know what I mean? I think this is not a platform for performance. It's a platform for connecting real people to real people, and that's the way I look at it. That's why I make that point. This part here with Nancy Stevens and Donald Pleasance, you can just see it. You know what I mean? The way he talks to her. You know what I mean? And you know the little things he says here. You can tell that he's a doctor and she's the nurse, and she'll give him like this little eye, and she'll make these little facial expressions like "you motherfucker." Oh, yeah, that's it. Nice job. Yeah, I got a couple hundred now. You know, I think I'm one of those either acquired tastes or you know what I mean. You either like me or you don't, right? Um, if I was a food, I wouldn't be a pizza or a cheeseburger. I would be, you know what I mean. You know, I'm not saying people don't like me. I'm just saying that I'm not for everyone. You know what I mean? People don't like people that you know. People like to be BS or people like to have that facade put on. They like to see that. Hey man, yeah. How long you been on, Adrian? Because I mean, you definitely got my sub on there by all three of my channels. I do believe so. I have three channels. I just you know you're a pineapple pizza. Yeah, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, not everybody likes it. Not that they hate it, but you know what I mean. Which I'm happy with that because I can't be anything but me. I can't, you know what I mean. You love me. You like me, like me. You hate me. That's fine too. I'll still get up and piss in the morning. I mean, I like being liked. I like people. I like to feel. You got like three, yeah, like three channels at least. Well, my original one was with my regular name, and that was just with my real name, and that's just Keith. And that's when I was just watching, just fan and everything. And then I made my next channel, which was the GoreAphobe channel, which actually started out as a GoreAphobe 73. But that tended to be a little rough for some people. They didn't know what the hell it said. People called me agoraphobia and all kinds of different shit. And and they just wasn't sure what. Some people didn't know what the hell it said at all. Um, so I figured, just agoraphobe, and I've adjusted here and there. I've been Sir Agoraphobe. I am still Sir Agoraphobe. I have been knighted by myself. Um, so that makes me Sir Agoraphobe. But I'll just go with agoraphobe. Between you guys and me, it's just agoraphobe. People that aren't subscribed or whatever, I'm Sir Agoraphobe. I love this beginning when it starts out here. This is Haddonfield, and it flows into Halloween, and you get all those leaves and shit. And this was done, like I say, this was done at what Pasadena, California, or right there off the strip there in California, right off there, right off Sunset Strip. If you watch, and for them to make it look as good as they do with these leaves and shit's crazy because, of course, leaves don't fall like that in California, especially in Southern California. But they do a great job, and the tent. This latest Scream Factory 4K did a really good job of making it look like a dingy, dreary fall day. I like her character so much more. You know, I love Jamie Lee Curtis so much back then. She comes off so real. So overdo it, man. I don't like a record, but this latest trilogy, man, she's far too Sarah Connor on it, man. It's just too much. I don't believe that someone as strong as she was inside, and is what I mean, a strong character and shit as she was inside, would have went off the deep end that badly. I just don't believe it. I ain't buying it, man. And another thing, for them to hire somebody else to play the Tommy part was absolutely ridiculous. If you couldn't get Brian Andrews to do it, you shouldn't have had the character in it at all. But you got the original Lindsay in there. You got Kim Richards and Lindsay. Why not Brian Andrews? That's bullshit. Not that I got a problem with little boy. I love Breakfast Club. I love 16 Candles, but he's just not Tom. You know, Anthony Michael Hall's cool. He's just not Tommy. He's just not Tommy Doyle. Sorry. Yes, she is. She's gonna go up there. She's not worried. She just, I love the fact she's so carefree. She's just a teenager. She just, what I mean? And she's even a little more naive, a little, than what she should be for the age that she is. She's not like her friends. She's a little reserved, a little back. Um, but she's not got one worry at all. Tommy's freaking out. Thinks the boogeyman is gonna jump right out the door and snatch her, which pretty damn close actually. Don't realize how right he is. But she's not worried about it. She's just walking on to school. She's gonna sing a song. Does anybody know what this song is? That's one thing I never found out. Wish I had you all alone, just the two of us. And then there he is. See, it shows right here that there's a lot of debate over whether his jumpsuit, his coveralls, are green or blue. It shows right here, and all the ones I've seen, it's way more blue than green. Just wanted to play Tommy again, but I think he didn't get along with the new directors. I hated how they dogged Tommy as well. Yeah, it's the whole trilogy hurts me, man. The best one is Halloween Kills, and they had to stick all that stupid town coming after him bullshit, man. Those people, man, most of those people, even dumb rednecks, or whatever. wouldn't have, small, I'm in a small town, so I'm not, wouldn't, they'd have been like, fuck that. I'm not going to fight with Michael Myers. I don't give a shit if there's 50 of them. Most of them's not going to do that. Of course, you're going to have your lynch parties, but those were just grandma and grandpa and people down the street are going to come and want to fight Michael Myers. Come on. And then only did they do that, but then they had to come back and kill every one of those franchise characters. So now you can't do anything with them at all. I mean, those people made sure that this franchise suffered a horrible, insufferable fucking death. That's one of the creepiest things. When I was in school in third grade, I remember specifically I had a seat to sit real close to a window like that, and I could see right out the window. And I remember looking across, and the houses across looked so much like that, and I remember comparing it. They dogged the whole franchise. They dogged the entire franchise except for Laurie Strode. You tell me who's responsible for that? No, you can go back. I'm not gonna repeat it, but you can go back and you can look at my posts and shit in Instagram, and you can see, if you guys haven't seen, you can see exactly what I said about why it turned out like it did. And I don't just say shit just to be saying it. I investigate, I check things out, I make sure I know what I'm talking about before I talk. So, a lot of people don't do that and they make an ass out of themselves. I make sure I know what I'm saying before I say it. And what I said there was absolutely fact. To me, the franchise is Halloween 78, Halloween 281. I wish the brother sister thing wasn't involved, but I can get by that a lot easier and I can get by the last shit that's been going on for the last several years. That's fine. And then I like Halloween 3 as its own thing. Halloween 4, it's pretty cool. It would be cool if they just didn't use that horrible happy ass Joy Joy mask. I was looking on the kid when he runs right into Michael Myers after he gets done bullying Tommy. He runs directly into Michael Myers, man. And the book, I read the book by Curtis Richards, I do believe. Way back when I was a kid, probably 10 years old, 9, 10 years old. And the way he described in the book goes a lot of different directions than what, I mean? Each thing you see about Halloween, it seems to go its own direction it wants to. But the book was kind of interesting in certain ways. Um, it talks about how he just kind of associates himself with Tommy, kind of sees himself. So who I got run around up there. I invited Drake to join me on the watch along because this is the movie, that we kind of share together. I kind of raised him watching, my son. Um, well, I think he's at work right now. So I always thought it was too bad that Donald Pleasant's last entry into it was Halloween 6. That he kind of seen it when the franchise was kind of going. You know, not to impugn on anybody that likes Halloween 6. I'm not a fan, but even if they would have went the H2O route with the Laurie character, I could have handled that. That wasn't over the top. She had her problems, but she still felt like the Laurie Strode character to me. She didn't feel like the Laurie Strode character at all in any of the three movies. I loved her character in this original and in Halloween too. I loved it. It's quite convenient there that the rabbit and red matches were laying out there on the ground. They went from the dashboard all the way to the ground. Very convenient. Now here comes my favorite character of the whole film. Linda Vanderklok. This guy's good too. Most of the scenes are on YouTube as well. Oh, you talk about Halloween 6? First of Michael Myers. It's funny. Seen some people do some videos on YouTube where they go back through where they actually walked and everything through these different little parts, and how much it's still, a lot of it still looks the same. Hasn't changed that much. There's a thing on YouTube where PJ Souls is walking along with I can't remember his name. His name eludes me. I know it. He does. He's got like some of the biggest horror memorabilia collection you ever seen. But he does a thing with PJ Souls where they're walking along there and they go by the house and everything, by both houses or across the street from each other. Because the original Myers house, of course, they moved it, barely saved it. A guy bought it for $1 so he could save it and renovate it and keep it up, because they were just going to tear it down. Paid to have it moved, like a mile or two away, put it on that corner. If anybody's seen that, paid $1 for it. Paid for it to get moved to keep it from getting demolished. Still stands to this day, man. A lot of people, you know what I mean? I had like little offices in it at one time. I think they also do where fans can go in now too. That's he just speed kill. That's when he decided to kill her, for sure. You notice Michael Myers has like entrance theme music like a wrestler. Like the Halloween theme didn't start until he came around the corner, but when he came around the corner, it's like the music kicked in. And now, as soon as he drives away, the music stops. His entrance is done. He's now entered the ring. But yeah, my favorite character is PJ Souls' character. I just love PJ Souls. Rock and Roll High School, Carrie, Stripes. She just a little bit part she did in Devil's Rejects. I just think she's a pretty fan. It ain't got nothing to do with showing her boobs. Not that I have a problem with that, but it doesn't even show them all that great. You know what I mean? So that's not why. I just like her character. I just like her as an actress. Her and also like Nancy Allen a lot too. I got autographed pictures of both of them. One of these days I ought to show off my art stuff. I haven't actually showed a room collection tour or anything in a long time. Here, so let me click up a little bit. There. Maybe it is when he listens to the car. Yeah, he's jamming out to his own theme coming down the road. That's fucking funny. Because it does kind of fade as he's going away, doesn't it? It came out 2008. Yeah. But yeah. Yeah, he's driving away. Oh yeah, he's down here. I love this. This scene where he's standing on the other side of the bush there, and then he steps back. For some reason, that was always a part that when I think about Halloween, I think about a couple different parts. I think about when she's walking down the sidewalk. She goes to Myers' house and he steps out and you can just see over his shoulder. About that part. I think about the part where he's behind the bush. Let's see. Of course, at the top of the stairs after she falls over the banister. Just a few different little parts that I think about extra. Oh, if you would, don't forget to give me a like if you could. Appreciate it very, very much. Thanks everybody that's come by and checked me out. Join me in the watch along, and those who are joining me in the join me in the watching later on after it's over. I much appreciate that. First time I've ever done a Halloween watch along. I'm doing it on Halloween. Yeah, this is the movie. This is the one that got me into horror. This is why I'm here today. That's why I'm lurking about and cursing the halls of YouTube. And I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm like a bad case of roaches, man. I ain't gonna go away. I've threatened it many times, but I just don't think I can now. I'm just addicted. I have to be around bugging people now. I have to be there. Just forcing it. Yeah, definitely happy Halloween. Just over. I'm going to spend the rest of Halloween enjoying some horror, enjoying the rest of the night with my son, with my 15-year-old Ryan, and my fiance Gretchen. We're gonna have a good night, kick some ass. Right now, kicking some ass for you guys. Oh yeah, I was thinking the other scene I was thinking about is when she looks out and he's standing down there amongst the sheets are dry and shit. That's pretty cool too. That's one of the shirts from I think it was either Gutter Guards or Terrorist Red that I wanted to get my hands on, but I didn't. But I did get the one where Bob stabbed through the door, and I got the one where he's got his hand through the door when he punches a hole through it to get to her in the kitchen later on. I got that one too. I got like 5 or 6 Halloween shirts. I'll wear the original today, the OG. Here it is. Here's the part where she comes and looks. She's definitely not expecting somebody in a mask to stand down there in the lobby. I mean, not to make you piss yourself. And some scary shit. Look down there, see some creep down there in the laundry, standing there staring at you, looking at, knowing that you're up there. Now you know that's the fucked up part because that's a 2-story house, right? So how does he know that he's looking directly up at that window? He knows she's in that room. That's what I'm talking about with Michael Myers. And that's their problem too. That's why I would have been happy if they would have left Halloween at one movie. One movie would have been perfect. The way this ends is perfect. He's just gone. Why? Because he's the boogeyman. That's why. You know, that would have been perfect. It wouldn't have explained too much. It wouldn't have got too much bullshit. It would have just been, and people to this day would still be going, man, why don't you make a sequel? Why don't you? But I really wish they'd have held off. I wish Carpenter would have kept his hands on it, not got greedy with the money, and not let other people get a hold of it and make a bunch of damn sequels. Cool. Hope to see you right back, Adrian. Much appreciated. Much love. Yeah, she's tripping out. See, she just think, she's like, ah, man. But I'd be doing more than thinking I'm tripping out if I see some dude standing down in the laundry looking at me, trying to call the police or something. There's some pervert standing down there looking at me, guys. Come on now. I don't think I could just lay right back down and take a nap. Gotta love the bell bottoms. Oh my god. I remember, see, that tells you I'm a little older guy because I actually remember people running around in bell bottoms. I mean, they're not the retro ones they come back out with, but the original fucking bell bottoms, man. I'm talking Brady Bunch. Remember the big ass butterfly collar? The big huge collars on the shirts. 70s was a really cool time. 70s had a really cool vibe. I can remember it a little bit, and it was really cool. I've seen this in about 79 because it came out in 78 play theaters. I believe by 79 it come to HBO. HBO was still a new thing at that time. Um, and I remember very first showing of this, very first time I ever seen it. I was just mesmerized. I couldn't believe it. I was just like, wow, hell of an introduction to horror. And then from there, of course, The Shining, and then um, so on and on. But I instantly became a Carpenter fan. So when the fog popped out a year or two later on HBO, I was on it. Thanksgiving New York, and you know what I mean, the thing. I think they ought to make a movie, or at least a short story, the anthology type short story about this Charlie Bull, this guy that you know what I mean, that supposedly chopped up his whole family or whatever. This guy's telling the story. He kissed his wife and his children goodbye, and then he proceeded to, and then he gets cut off. for 44 years, people have been wondering what the hell this Charlie dude did. He finished dinner, excused himself, all nice and polite, went out and got himself the hacksaw, and he came back in and gave everybody a nice little sweet kiss, and then did something really bad. He straight up interrupts him. It's like, damn, Loomis. Of course, anybody don't know the Sam Loomis name comes from Psycho. Um, that was the boyfriend to Janet Leigh's sister, and the one that comes investigating, wanting to know what happened to her sister after she gets killed. Well, she's the boyfriend of Janet Leigh, actually, but I think I think her sister kind of ended up with her man when all was said and done. But he was Sam Loomis. There's a lot of theories where it's the same guy. He was just younger than. Oh, I would love to see that movie too, man. Question is, would the whole movie, could they make the whole movie as good as that short little story was turning out to be? Like what happened before and what happened after? Did he continue to go around the neighborhood or whatever and saw people too with his hacksaw? I mean, what? Or before that, did he? I mean, did he saw himself? I mean, what happened? Maybe he saw it himself. That'd be a fucked up ending, wouldn't it? He saws his family and then fucking starts hacksawing his own head off or some shit. Dr. Dementia. See, that's crazy. Back then in 77, 78, when they was making this, during the making, um, it's funny what was considered horror then and what's considered horror now. Like then like she talks about how little Lindsay Wallace won't know what hit her, right? Because of, I mean, they're going to be watching the original The Thing, Forbidden Planet, this Dr. Dementia show, like the shows they used to show back then would be like, they would show like 3 movies, like Night of the Living Dead was just like, if you could watch Night of the Living Dead back then, or something like that, you was hardcore. That's why when Exorcist came out, people were fainting and shit because they never see anything like that. I mean, it just blew them away. It's a different time. Things move so fast now that now it really takes something. You know what I mean? The only thing that's going to really truly scare people now, I think, as far as movies go, they're going to have the patience to sit and watch um, as the psychological, and the ambiance and atmosphere. They're going to have to be patient enough to sit and wait for that shit to develop. And if you do that, you're going to find a lot of the psychological thrillers and psychological horror movies are a lot scarier than what you think. A lot of people get bored. It's like, oh, there hasn't been a kill yet. It's like, well, that should develop, man. Favorite movie 2022 so far. Ooh, um, actually, I was very pleasantly surprised. Not that I had a problem with the original Orphan. It was all right, but it was so predictable, and you'd seen it before. You feel like almost like you'd seen it before, right? I thought the new Orphan movie was pretty good considering. I liked it a lot more than the original. I love twist to it. Barbarian is really killer. I really like it. Um, let's see what else. I'm trying to think of everything that's come out. Kind of remind me of what's come out so far this year. Trying to think, but I'm a little behind. I'm a little behind. Um, X. I liked X. Maybe not as much as a lot of people, but I did like it. I'm looking forward to Pearl, which from what I'm hearing is kind of like a prequel. It's kind of like the old lady when she was young. Is what I'm getting. They had the new Chainsaw movie, the Netflix Chainsaw movie. That wasn't bad. I like the ending of it. I thought the ending was pretty freaking cool to that. It was all right. Wasn't bad. If I miss anything, remind me, and I'll let you know if I've seen it and what I think about it or whatever. Probably hear the turn a little bit more just in case. Probably already hit. I think like I had a warning or so a year or two back because I was making those little. I don't know if you remember. I was making those little short 2 minute things. You know, the one I called the Boogeyman, all that kind of shit. I used a little bit of music there, and they just warned me. I didn't get a flag. They won. It's like I was talking to Ben from Cadaver here about a month ago, and I made a comment. He's showing off another one of those really kick-ass media books that he has. And I love media books, and he has got such a kick-ass collection of German media books. And I told him, I said, man, I'm gonna kill you if you don't stop getting all these media books and getting ahead of me where I can't catch up. All these ones I can't get. I was playing around, and before he even got the message, they hit me and shit on threatening to kill him. I was like, wow, yeah, I'm threatening to kill him. Okay, I haven't seen Smile yet. Haven't seen They Them. I seen Firestarter. It wasn't too bad. Much prefer the original, but it wasn't bad. Scream 5, I don't remember. I watched it. I don't remember it. I don't remember how it ends. Is that saying something? I like Scream 4 a lot. I thought Scream 4 was the best one since the original. I love the villain. Her niece or whatever, or her cousin. Oh man, she was a damn good villain. Scream 4, I thought was really good, much better than 5. I can't remember. I always take it as a bad thing if you watch it and you don't remember it. And I went like I was drunk or something. I was completely straight, watched this movie, and don't remember what happened. Man, I need to check it out again. Maybe. But They Them. Now which one is They Them? Northman's good. Hellraiser was so. Moonfall. That's a one and done for me. It was all right once, but I probably never check it out again. Northman's real good. I also for the first time watched The Green Knight with my son, the A24. I like A24 quite a bit. That was pretty good too. I watched Under the Skin believe it or not, for the first time this year. That was different. That was really. I found that to be really disturbing at the end, man. I felt really bad for her. This is really pivotal. This is important. This is when Brackett and Loomis are in the house. They're going upstairs. He's starting to tell them about like. Yes, I'm looking forward to seeing that one. I had not seen that yet. Thanks for reminding me. I'm going to check that out. I might check that out tonight. I like Kevin Bacon. You never would have thought back in the day, like Footloose and the original Friday 13th. You never would have thought he'd make such a damn good villain. But I think the first time he played, in the first time he really played a villain, when that Hollow Man did a great job, man. And then from then on, of course, he's Sebastian Shaw in the first X-Men prequel, First Class. Does a great job there. Of course, you got Super. He's an asshole in that. That's a good show. I love the timing of the drain pipe, waiting until they get in that room and swinging down. See, little things happen like that in this movie is almost like fate. You know what I mean? It's almost like there's an evil undertone going on. It's more than just the shape. You know, because he's a man, but he's not a man all at the same time. You know, he's a force. He's a boogeyman. He's there and then he's not there. Why? Because he's a boogeyman. The shape, the shape of a man, looks like a man, feels like a man, comes off like a man. Not a man. Not necessarily. Not really. Not really. That's what that means when they call him the shape. Carpenter called him the shape because that's what he is. He's a shape. He's a shape of what you expect a man to look like. Yet everything that is a man isn't in there. I actually enjoyed some of the in Halloween Kills. I actually enjoyed some of the flashbacks to the 1978. I thought those were all right. Now I didn't agree with the part where Loomis took the gun and put it to his head and was going to shoot him in the head while he was kneeled down there. I didn't agree that seemed a little out of character for Loomis, but haven't seen Top Gun. No. Prey was all right. Prey was pleasant surprise, and haven't seen Nope yet either. I'm a little behind on these for some reason. I've fallen a little bit behind this year. This last year or so has been interesting for me, as a lot of you guys know. I went from finding out that I was going to be divorced to being single to hooking up with an old flame to getting close to moving in together to getting engaged. To, you know what I mean? It's been a hell of a year. See, I love how she comes off here. She comes off so natural. It's not pushed. I feel like, man, I can't stress enough. I feel like her character she is so pushed, so forced in that new trilogy. Like she's consciously making sure that she can be as shitty as usual, you know? No, and it's been so long since I've seen the original Top Gun, man. Jesus, I remember that movie came out. That song "Take My Breath Away," it was all over the radio. I mean, that song, "Take My Breath Away." Yeah, oh my God, it's one of those songs that whether you like it or not, after a while you're like, all right, hey, what's up, Echo? How you doing, man? Thanks for stopping by. Hit that like for me if you would, my good fellow. We can get out to more people so I can torment the earth. I'm gonna start being in shape here soon. Man. Nah, fortunately, I'm way too much empathy. I'm too nice to be in shape, man. We've been talking about everything I can think of with this show, man. All the different stuff. We got he's trying to tell her he's outside, he's out there. And of course, from 1 minute to the next, he's not in the same place, you know? And it's not like it's purposely, it's like, oh shit, Lori's gonna look. I can't be standing here now. It's just, you know what I mean? He's there and then he's not. Now he's around the other side of the house watching Annie. I do there's a thing here on YouTube. I don't remember who did the video, but they were saying that Annie was the original, and the main focus, of Michael Myers. And I don't necessarily, I don't think that's true, but it's definitely an interesting theory. I don't remember who did the video, but Drone Jones talked about it too. He's trying to lure her out. She must have really got a lot of butter on her shit, man, to take off all of her clothes and change out of every bit of it. But I spill butter on me and I didn't have to completely disrobe. Maybe just a way to show off the legs. I don't know. She's actually Drake King, Nancy Loomis Keys or Kies, however you want to pronounce it. Um, she's the favorite to Drake. He likes her the best. But like I said, I like PJ Soul. I like Melinda character the best. She's so wishy washy, man. She just, I always wondered if that's an act, or if she's actually that dense. But I think some of it might be just some bullshit act. Thing. It's a really good show. Howard Hawks, uh, big influence on John Carpenter. That's what I'm saying. The horror then is a lot different than the horror now. Then in 1978, they're sitting there watching, the horror, this is their classics, The Thing, and, The Blob, shit like that. That's their classics. Night of the Living Dead had become a classic at that time. Um, Things like Black Christmas and Chainsaw Massacre and all of them were out, but they weren't necessarily considered iconic classics yet. The the what if that I'm writing, the what if Lori hadn't survived Halloween '78, um, it, it's going to have a lot to do with um, the promise that she made. That nothing was going to happen to the kids and all that kind of stuff. That promise she makes. It's going to, that all that shit ties into it. I'm really looking forward to doing that. I wrote a good part of it. I think I'm going to put it in 2 or 3 different parts, but part one's pretty much done. I'm just waiting until I get it. Everybody gets over this Halloween ends bullshit before I whip it out. I'm so like about this too. He spends a lot of time stalking, watching. I mean, he could have come in there and killed her at any time. If this was the newer trilogy or any of the sequels, that's what he would have done. He would have just came right in. You know what I mean? That cuts out a lot of the suspense. If you take away the suspense, you know, take the suspense out of this movie in particular, you've lost a lot of what makes it great. Now you look around. I'm not sure if it's a scene or not, but you look around real close when Lindsay's sitting in the dark. Look over to your left, and you can see a shadow go across that little bit of light there. Somebody behind the couch. The boom operator or whatever. You can see that little bit of shadow. Just figured I'd point that out. See, instead of locking her in and messing with her, he could have came right in and killed her. But instead, he wanted to play. You know, and I don't feel like he does that in any of the old sequels or the new sequels or any of that. I don't feel like he does. He just doesn't play with them. He just kind of just. I felt that was kind of what made him different than Jason or any of that. That's what made him unique. Appears everybody has left me. Adrian never came back. Hmm. He would catch me in the replay. Kim Richards is interesting. Well, like I said before, they brought her back for these sequels in this trilogy, the last two, Kills and Ends. Um, but they didn't bring back Brian Andrews. Like I've explained how I thought that was bullshit. If he couldn't come back, just don't have the character. Just cut the character out. The original person can't play it. I think that's important. Kim Richards or Kyle Richards is interesting because her older sister Kim, of course, they were in the car together. Played sisters. I believe the only movie they were ever in together. Her sister also was Tia in Escape to Witch Mountain, and she also did a movie in the mid '80s called Tough Turf with James Spader, where she was probably 18, 19 years old. Really grew up to be a very pretty woman, much prettier than Kyle did, in my opinion. Of course, I haven't seen Kim Richards in so long, but I kind of crushed on her when I was a little kid because I watched Escape to Witch Mountain and all that. But yeah, her and her sister did a few things in the '70s, especially her sister. Like I said, with Escape Witch Mountain, Tough Turf, stuff like that. They were together in the car. At this time, I do believe she was already seeing um, I think she was already in a relationship with Tommy Wallace at this point. Nancy Loomis Keys was, or Keyes, however you want to pronounce it. And at this time, PJ Souls was, I think she might have been married, yeah, to Dennis Quaid. I believe she was married to Dennis Quaid. Dennis Quaid almost played the Bob part, but he was already obligated to do a TV movie. I believe it was called Are You Alone in the House or something like that. It's when he goes in, they're high school students, and he assaults the girl, and then gets away with it, and he terrorizes her. But that's what Dennis Quaid, PJ Soul's husband, was doing at the time this was made. That's why he wasn't able to play Bob. You know, instead we got John Michael Graham in there to play him, which is cool. John Michael Graham did pretty cool. You know, he, very fast fellow, John Michael Graham. You ever notice everything John Michael Graham does in this movie is very quick? You know, stabs him, he dies quickly, and he does other things quite quickly as well. That's why I thought, I put a picture up here a few weeks ago of scene where Michael's standing back after he stabbed Bob the door, and he's kind of looking at him. And I put there, I put Michael thinking, man, this guy does everything. I get the idea Annie does this to her a lot because Laurie's just kind of got this look like, again, it's because I think they're a little closer. I think she's a little closer to her than she is Linda. I mean, I think all three of them are close, but I think Laurie and Annie are the closer friends. And I think Annie uses that friendship a lot. She pawns off whoever she's babysitting on to Laurie quite a bit because, see, the way I get it is, this is not a real big town, but I think they babysit a lot of the same kids. Like they babysitted the same. Like I believe Annie has babysitted Tommy. I believe, Laurie has definitely babysitted Lindsay. Um, but I think a lot of times when her and Paul come across, you know what I mean. I think she ends up pawning off whoever she's babysitting on to Laurie quite often. You just get that idea. Oh, for people who didn't know, the Paul voice on the phone, that's John Carpenter. And if I remember correctly, I do believe she kind of ad libbed this song, not for these scenes necessarily, but I think she ad libbed it, in scenes building up to whichever ones they kept, whichever cuts they kept. I think she just kind of came along and just did this Paul song. I do believe, if I remember correctly. I can understand. Oh, Paul. Oh, Paul. See those shit in here at the end. You're really tall or some shit. Yeah. Just by reaction, she opens up the door and just gets in and thinks, that door wasn't unlocked. And why are the windows all fogged up? Then he strikes. Now, what's funny is the psychology of this. What makes him strike now where he didn't strike then? Is it the fact that she took Lindsay over to Lori's and she's completely all alone now? Or is it's just, he kills his time? Um, but here you can kind of see him get impatient. He's strangling her and finally he's just like, you can actually hear him, you know, kind of grunting and making noise in the mask like, damn, stop struggling. And finally just whips out the knife, cuts her throat. Now, as a little kid, for some reason, it must have been too dark or something, but the old school TVs or whatever, I didn't see the knife for a while. I thought she's, I don't know. All songs should be a part of it. Yes, it absolutely should be a part of the soundtrack. My Paul, I give you all. No key, please, my Paul. You're really tall, my Paul. Hell yeah. You gotta have that in there, man. It's just not the same without it. And they should have her singing it. You know what I mean? She has to be the one doing it. Absolutely. Now let's tell me his outfit here. Is he like an astronaut? Is that the whole thing with that? And why is Lindsay not have any outfit at all? Like that's just her regular shit, man. Did she even go trick or treating? I mean, did the poor kid even get to go trick or treat? So another point I wanted to make on this is you see kids trick or treating really early, like right not long after school lets out, right? Well, back then that happened a lot more. You'd see people, you know what I mean? And you could trick or treat later because, things just weren't perceived as dangerous then. I mean, I remember seeing kids were trick or treating at 10, 11 o'clock at night at times when I was a kid. I remember seeing that. They'd start daylight, and they would go until 10 a.m. or 10 p.m. Nobody believes. And then right after she gets Lindsay's back, Lindsay immediately turns around and stabs her in the back. I believe you, Tommy. Lori's like, kid. See, she's so used to it and so patient with kids. And she knows these kids so well, both of them, because she babysits them both a lot. That, like when she says, like when she promises earlier that nothing is going to happen to you, she definitely keeps that promise. Here's the three bullies. They, they get the shit scared out of them. It's freaking hilarious. Of course, being kids, they pick Halloween night to go up there and dare each other to go up to the Myers house. Yeah, and one of the ones that was one of the biggest mouth bullies earlier to Tommy is the one up there, getting bullied and pushed all the way up to the door and out. And Loomis, I love this little evil grin that Donald Pleasance gets on his face. He goes, "Hey, Lonnie, get your ass away from there." And they run the hell off. They piss down their leg and take off. And he stands there. He's just so proud. He's like, just a little bit of cheap entertainment from the old guy. He just want to mess with the kids. What I found funny about this was, Brackett comes here and he's telling him, he's not believing it's all that big of a deal, and he thinks that he's wasting his time. And then immediately at the beginning of Halloween 2, when they're bringing Annie out, she's dead. Immediately looks over at Loomis and says, "It's your fault. What have you done?" It's like, dude, I spent all goddamn day trying to tell you shit, and you just telling me I was fucking crazy. All day trying to tell you and trying to get you to take this shit seriously, and you're telling me that all this is just another Halloween night. And I'm trying to tell you, I've known this motherfucker for 15 years, and I know he's fucking here, and you're just telling me that I was fucking nuts. And now you're gonna blame me because your daughter gets killed, man. Get over yourself. I told you this shit. You should have had your daughter under lock and key right the fuck away, man. I would have. If someone like Loomis came and he was that adamant about it and telling me that shit, my teenage daughter wouldn't have been any place but where I was at. Bottom line, end of story, man. I mean, they couldn't really have the whole little town in panic over the whole thing. But him being first knowledge like that, because Loomis came straight to him, get my daughter and she's with me. I'm making sure nothing happens to her. This motherfucker run loose. Any chance at all that this guy might be in this town, as dangerous as he is, as dangerous as the doctor says he is, I'm making sure that my daughter's safe. That's just what you do. Here they are. Now, this part coming up here, when he says, blah, 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 um, tear Lindsay's clothes off. A lot of people, I think a lot of people are out of proportion. You know what I mean? They say, you know what I mean? He's pervy, he's, chomoy or whatever. He's just fucking around. I don't think anything at all, from a character standpoint, I don't even think anything at all was meant by that. A lot's been said about that lately. People are a little preoccupied with the whole pervy thing these days, I think. Don't get me wrong, it is a problem. But not every little thing means you're a fucking pervert. I think it's just some shit that he just babbled out. Of course, it wouldn't be said these days. It's a different time. But for then, for 35 years, nobody thought a thing about it. This is some shit he babbled in the spur of the moment. Yeah, see, just like right now, he could kill both of them. He could pull a Jason, spear something right through both of them. But he would much rather watch them and see what they're doing, see what they're up to, creep around. That's what makes this movie different than every other Halloween movie. He likes to watch. He likes to watch. You know, what I mean, he likes checking people out and seeing what they're doing, stalking them. To him, it's not so much of the kill; it's the stalk. That's what's different about Michael Myers, and that's what's different about this 1978 movie from every other. 1981 does it too, pretty decently to a certain extent. It's got that vibe, but it's the only two that does. And I'm talking about you could say 4, 5, 6, H2O, Resurrection, 2018, Kills, Ends. None of them capture that like this movie. None of them. I had disagreement with a channel that I was talking with, and I was chatting on one time, or maybe a year or so ago, and they argued with me that in 2018 that he stalks a lot, and you can hear the heavy breathing a lot, and he's watching a lot. Well, maybe he does a little, but I have to contend that not a lot. Not a lot. He doesn't do it like what I mean. He says, "Well, it captures it like the original." No, it doesn't. Watch them back to back. I'm authority on anything on horror movies. You know what I mean? It's Halloween 1978. I will claim to be an authority and have a lot of knowledge, because you know, this movie is one I will fight to the grave over this film, my knowledge of it, and everything. You know what I mean? And just my passion for it. I could have made, oh man, I could have made ultimate sequel. It would have been so full of suspense and stalking and shit, man. And by the time he made the kills, man, people would have been just dying, itching for it. Looking forward to getting my what if out there. It's going to be different. Yeah, it's going to be what if Laurie Strode didn't survive Halloween 78. This story for, like I said, I'm just waiting for a lot of this Halloween ends bullshit and discussion and disagreements to die down and get over. And then I'm going to whip it out, run up the flagpole and see who salutes it. That's all you can do. Yeah, here's Bob. Bob does everything quickly. I understand he's a teenager and all, but dude, fantastic. See, that's why I'm wondering, you know what I mean? Is her ditzy for real, or is she just part of that ditziness just you know just to put on, because she must love Bob, because or maybe it's just one of those occasions for Bob. Maybe Bob just got too happy. But fantastic, I don't think is a word that would fit it. I'm sorry. If I was Bob, I'd be apologizing all over the place. I would be so sorry, man. I'd be in tears. I'd be like, I am so sorry. Yeah, I realize he's only 17 and all, but damn, I was 17 once too. I mean, he did that faster than he dies, and he dies pretty damn fast. I just wonder if everything else he does quickly. Does he eat fast? Does he run fast? Poor Bob. I just, I can understand, because PJ Souls was, she's attractive. But for God's sakes, Bob, you control yourself, young man. I see this shit going on. You know what I mean? This shit. I'm wondering why that back door's open, man. Click a light on, dude. I'm turning on lights. I'm grabbing something. I'm wondering why the hell. You know what I mean? Especially if I'm here, because you can hear him breathe. Especially when I hear somebody breathe. I'm not. Yeah, it might be a joke, but maybe it's not. Yeah, see, there it is. It's not. Happy Halloween, motherfucker. I'll try with everything he's got to get that hand off his throat. Just lifts him right off. This is so iconic, man. That's why I had to have this shirt. I was so happy to get this shirt. I think it was Terror Spreads. I got one. See, and he immediately starts dying. So see, Bob dies fast too. He's a quick young man. And I wonder how long he left him stabbed there at the door. Because nice not gonna hold him, real long. He's checking him out. He's going, what the hell? All right. Almost like he couldn't believe he actually stuck there. He's like, wow, he's actually staying up there. And he thought, and what was really creepy about this is when they was making out and everything, Bob and Linda, they're making out and everything. You see the shadow go across. So he's in the room the whole time watching. You know what I mean? Whole time he's watching these two make out and everything in that bed, creep around in the darkness and shit. That when you think about it that way, that's really creepy, man. And this here shows that even the more playful side of Michael. He, he, he's going to cosplay as Bob for a minute, a ghost of Bob even. Speaking of that, show off when the movie's over. I'll show off a couple more some other Halloween merchandise. I'll take it off here and we'll go into what I call I have a Halloween room. It's got posters and it's got the figures and all that shit. Now see, this is where you see where she's not quite so ditzy. She's getting serious here because she's getting scared. Because he's standing there, he's got the ball glasses on and everything, and she's just like, "Where's my beer?" He's not answering. So she's like, "All right." See, she's she's putting on a tough exterior because it creeped her out. You just stand there looking at her like it creeped her out. She knows she got a different vibe from it. She knows, it's like she's just gonna get to the phone because she's just like, what the fuck? But she shouldn't have turned her back on. Yeah, him standing on that sheet like that. At first, she thought it was kind of cute, kind of funny. He had glasses on, but then he didn't answer. That's what scared her. That the freak was switch on a tough exterior, and so fine, don't answer me that. I'm gonna call Lori and find out where Paul and Annie are. This is going nowhere. You know, she was creeped out. It freaked her out a little bit. So she was disconnecting herself from the situation and calling Lori to see what's going on because she didn't want to she didn't want no more of that because she was freaked, man. Good. She's gonna hit the fan here. Seeing lights go off and on. She knows they're playing a game, but still, it's a little different. You know what I mean? Her intuition tells her, something's just not right about it. I mean, she's used to Linda leaving her with whatever kids she's babysitting and all, but I think Linda or Annie leaving her with whatever when they babysit kids, she used to her leaving her with a kid. But I think Annie at least checks. You know what I mean? She lets her know at least what's going on. And she hasn't heard nothing from them. She knew that Bob and Linda showed up. Now, she heard someone struggling. The lights are going off and on. She knows that something's just, you know, something's odd. Something's unusual. They might play games, but this is a little beyond the games they usually play. So Loomis, I just wonder what took Loomis so damn long to look down there and notice this damn car down there. He'd been standing there the whole time looking and watching, unless he had left for a while. Michael's obviously come and gone because before he had parked the car down there by the Wallace and the Doyle house. So he's obviously came and gone. So somehow he missed it. Yep, that's the car. I was right. I was right. Damn it, he is here. He knew he was there. Where else was he going to go? Michael didn't. He didn't know any place else. I guess he could randomly pick the place, but it makes sense. You're going to go. You know what I mean? You're going to covet. You're going to go to what you know. Here it goes. I wonder what happens to the key. Maybe she loses them when she goes over the banister. Hmm. Yeah. The interior of the house and the exterior of the house—that's two different houses, I do believe, if I remember correctly. At least in certain scenes. This long walk over there with this is the theme that they play here when she's walking over the house here. This is what's known as the Lori theme. The long, slow walk over here. This foreboding, you know, image of this fucking house. But she knows deep down that something ain't right. Something, you know what I mean? She's been going weird all day. There was someone staring at her a couple different times. At least three different times. They got him. She's in the class. She's seen him behind the bush, and then when he's standing there in the sheets or in laundry while it's hanging out. So she knows it three specific times. Plus, Tommy's been talking about a boogeyman. Plus, there's been the weird shit just happened here. So she's going to investigate. Takes a lot of guts, really. A very ballsy character. This Laurie Strode character. This Laurie Strode character. To me, this is the Laurie Strode character. She's strong, but she's not in your face about it. I don't know if it's a subject, but I kind of like how the Linda spelled a Y. And how many people knew that her last name was Vanderclark? Interesting name to give a fictional character, I thought. She's walking around. She walks around to the darkest part of it in the back. I mean, that looks. You see right there when she's walking around there. I mean, you can't see shit back there. It is black. Now that door is open again. Did he open it because he went out it and did something? Did he open it especially so she could come in it? That's what I think. Now she pulls it in behind her. Now this tells you that Michael's down there. I think he's in that room right there, that first door to the left. Because she doesn't open it, she doesn't go in because she heard something else going on, so she didn't go in it. Because after she comes in that back door is when he locks it and props it to where props it where she can't get out of it. So he's behind her this whole time. He's coming right behind her, and you think about it like that because he had to have been. Because when she goes to that door, he's got something propped against it. She can't get out. So he props something against that door, comes back around, and goes in the front door. At this point, he's probably propping shit against that door. Now he's coming around back to the front. When she heads up those stairs, he comes in. Yeah, that's a very good point because they did use a lot of names in this. Like there's he's one of the production or something. I can't exactly. Steve Mathis. In this, he's one of the people behind the scenes people. I can't remember exactly what he does. I've forgotten that over the years. But they use that name in Halloween too. That party that they're at, party over Stevie Mathis's house. Yeah, it's all people. It's all people that they know. John Carpenter was big on that. Like like Tom Atkins' name in The Fog is Nick Castle. Now switching the Lori theme into the slow, suspenseful Halloween theme. Ding, 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 ding. But yeah, now is when he's brought shit against that back door there and come back around to the front and came in. When she goes into these rooms and shit is when he manages to get up the stairs and then stand off into the darkness and watch her as things develop and as she finds her friends dead. It's all set up especially for her. He's the first one. She's the first one he's seen. Kind of reminded him of the sister. She had a feel to her. She was young, but she wasn't, empowering. She was, what I mean? He killed off the louder. And he also made it to where also all she's got to do is just bump into something or hit something just right and shit'll swing open. Like here. All set up. See, bumps that. Doors, yeah. Meticulously sets up things to terrorize. That's what he does. He likes to terrorize and stalk. That's what he's all about. He's much more about that than he is the killing. Killing's just kind of like the end result, See, there. I love it. It's really cool how they kept that to where it just slowly shows his face. She's just damn lucky that he's a bad aim here, or he was gonna put that knife right in her back. Michael's not above stabbing you in the back. He doesn't give a shit. Now this scene at the very end stands and stops. See, he's still stalking. He's still stalking. But he could have immediately come around those steps and hit it right down. Instead, he's standing there. He wanted her to see him up the stairs. That's locked. Now going back to that back door that she came in that she thinks is going to be unlocked for her. But it's not. It's got shit propped up against it. He starts punching. This is really cool. So he starts punching this door and punching right through it. Sound effects too is fantastic. Blam, blam, blam. Just frantically reaching around inside there trying to find that lock. Mark usually does shit slow, but certain little things like that he'll do quick. Like there, he kind of underestimated her there. He didn't think she was going to take her bare hand and punch through that glass like that. Now, something interesting here. She comes out of the house. She's running here yelling for help and stuff. He doesn't come right out after her. It's almost like he stopped there in the kitchen or he stopped off in the darkness and he's watching for a minute, just kind of seeing what's up. Because he could have already been around the house and walking toward her by now, but he's not. Instead, he's standing back watching, still stalking. Still stalking. Even though she's out here yelling at people and everything else, he's standing off in the darkness, out that back door in that backyard, watching, still stalking. She knows he's there. He knows she knows. And he waits until she gets over to here, over to this house, before he starts coming after her. He's done his stalking. She's terrified. Now I'm coming. Yep. Motherfucker always stalking. Always. That's the bottom line. That's Michael Myers. That's the Michael Myers that I know and love, guys. It is only like that in this movie. I can't say that enough. None of the others captured it quite right. Is you kill fest, It's not a kill fest. Here he comes. He could run over there. No, he wants to walk. He wants her to know every step of the way that he's coming. Now because he checks that phone. He's already coming around here and coming in that open window that's got that curtain blowing. He has now come in that and she knows, and she is just in such a panic, man. She does, she's not sure what the fuck to do. She's like, oh my god, did he come in? Where is he? Why isn't he trying to come in? So all she could think to do is just try to get some sort of comfort. I think the reason she doesn't go up the stairs right now where the kids are, I heard people talk about that. Why does she stay down there? I think she stays down there because the kids are up there. She doesn't want to lead him to the kids. Ugh, wasn't expecting that. I love how you just, I remember seeing it as a kid when he pulled the knitting needle out and just says, like his legs were just taken out from under it. Hits the floor like a sack of potatoes. And if you look real closer, when she looks behind the couch, he's even got his right leg bent up, kind of back behind him. He just went straight down. See, you can see his leg kind of cocked up to the side there. He's fucked up. You're like, oh. I seen this thing. My son and I seen this thing the other day. This guy was doing, why Michael, will just drop and everything sometimes. And he kind of he kind of described it almost like a video game, like if he had hit points, you know, with a character when you get so much damage and hit points on a game, you'll be down or you'll die out or whatever for a minute. But then you can get some energy, or after that's over, after you recover, you pop back up. You know what I mean? Your hit points go back up again, right? I thought that was pretty interesting. I never really heard it talked about like that before. It's really cool. Thinking about it like that. If you put it in a video game, yeah, that stabs in the neck took his hit points all the way down. Not all the way, he still got like one left. But but as he lays there, he recovers a bit, snaps back out of it, his hit points are back up, and he's fully powered again. And every time a certain amount of damage gets done to him, he drops again for a second and then comes right back. So I thought that was a pretty funny way to look at it. Just a thought. See, this right here is where my what if, this scene right here, where she stands and it comes up the stairs and the two kids come out and Tommy looks and says, "You can't kill the boogeyman." That's where my what if Laurie Strode didn't survive Halloween 78 is going to start. This scene. So remember that for when I finish it and bring it out and actually tell it. I'm writing it kind of like as if it was a novel or a screenplay. I'm looking forward to doing it. I hope everybody will enjoy it. Yeah, goes really slowly. See, he heard her open that up and everything. He heard and he sees those doors, that upstairs patio. He sees they're open, but he doesn't even go there. He's not stupid. He immediately goes to that closet because those closets you can kind of hear those doors shut. So he knows where she's at. He knows she didn't go out those doors. For one thing, because the kids are still there. He knows she's not going to leave those kids by themselves. She's not going to take off out of the house with those two kids there. But yeah, I wrote this whole scene into my what if and everything. This whole thing from her point of view, from the point of view of him, all of it. I'm really working hard on it to make it good, but it's going to end differently than this movie. Just be forewarned. And it's not going to end. Like I say, I'm going to have 2 or 3 parts to it. I'm kind of doing my own what if leading into my own Halloween 2. Really excited about it. Oh, there, see, drops, cause some damage, drops the knife. There. And that was enough damage to get him down again. Now that's, she's thinking, damn, that should be enough. Because I think she got him in the, you couldn't really tell, but I think she got him in the throat or at least close up to the neck with that one. The one was just in the eye, fucked up his eye, but that other one hit him, I do believe, at least close to the throat. See, now he just lays and spread out. Now she comes out of the closet here. Now she throws the knife to the side. Remember that when you watch when I tell you my what if story. remember that she threw that knife to the side right there. Most stories don't make a final girl pay for something like that. I'm not your average bear, folks. So, call the police. Tell them to send them over here. You understand me? Go. Do as I say. Yeah, I love this. I think this brief little scene here is the best part of the movie. She's sitting there. He gotta be dead, right? Sits right the fuck up. Remember, we wouldn't have so many things. We wouldn't have the Undertaker or anything if it wasn't for that scene. We wouldn't have the Undertaker as we know him anyway. For those of you who are wrestling fans, that setup was so fucking big. No, and no one did it like Nick Castle. No one did that setup like Nick Castle. And as she raises, he raises. Now, at this point, he's a little fucking irritated. He's he was calm, he was talking, he was cool, he was playing his game, everything, but he's fucking irritated now. He's been damaged all over the fucking place by her. And here, you see, he actually takes a sprint and runs and grabs her. At this point, he just didn't care. He didn't care about stabbing her. He just kind of strangled her to death. He's fucking tired. And if it wasn't for Loomis being there and her pulling up that mask, he'd have killed her right there. Loomis just in time. You usually see a movie cops show up after shit happens. Loomis showed up just in time. Just a grazing shot, but 3, 4, 5. The rest of his bullets unloaded in. I think he hit him with every one of them. It falls off here. Now, think about if this would have ended, if there wouldn't have been any sequels. If it would have ended right here when he goes and looks over the side of that balcony and he's not there. And 44 years later, there hadn't been any sequels and it ended just like that. How iconic the ending would have been. That would have been fantastic. Now here she says, she doesn't say, was it the boogeyman? She says, it was the boogeyman. Kind of talking about like what Tommy had told. And that's why he responds. As a matter of fact, it was. Yeah. For years, people thought, she said, was it the boogeyman? But no. She said, it was the boogeyman. Now he's looking. His first thought was, oh my God, can't believe it. But his second thought was, I'm not surprised at all. Of course, she doesn't know that he's gone. She's just responding and just, thanking God that there's a guy with a fucking gun coming in the house and shot this motherfucker. Thanks for stopping in, Haddonfield. Appreciate it. Happy Halloween back to you. He's showing all the places that he's been. He's revisiting all those places, and he's going to breathe and start to hear him. Outside of both houses, and now back to his house. And that's the end. Imagine if it would have ended like that. There wouldn't have been a franchise with a bunch of sequels going here, there, and everywhere. If it would have ended just like this, and 44 years later, people will still be going, "Oh man, why hasn't there been a sequel?" Imagine how cool that would have been, how iconic that ending would have been if he would have just been gone. Don't know where he's at. He's just gone. Why? Because he's the shape, man. He's the boogeyman. The boogeyman can do that shit. That would have been so cool. Although I do have some appreciation for Halloween 2, 1981. It captures it a little bit, but if you're just coming in, if you missed my watch along here with this, go back and check it out, man. Hopefully, I tell a lot of good things, give a lot of good insight into things. I had a great time doing this one. My favorite film of all time. The whole reason that I'm GoreAphobe and I have this channel is started with this movie. I showed off my physical media here. I showed you out my 2 only 3. Once again, I'll show you. My VHS, Anchor Bay with my particular cover. Let's see. Here's the DVD. This is actually put out by Screen Factory. The DVD was the extended edition with the scenes they put in it when they made Halloween 2, so that it would cover the 2-hour running time. I think it's either ABC or CBS, maybe ABC. So here's the 25-year anniversary with the documentaries and extras on it. The first Anchor Bay Blu-ray of Halloween ever put out. 35th anniversary media book. One of my favorite Halloween releases ever, at least until I get one of the Midnight Collection. Okay. This is the German media book, the soft media book. Great. It's 3 discs. It's got a lot of pages going on in it, like that. Very cool. You can still get it. It's not too bad a price. You can still get it. You can get it on eBay. Very first 4K put out by Lionsgate, and basically Lionsgate. The Best Buy exclusive steel book with the clear slip. Really nice. I thought that was really beautiful. Then, of course, the one I just watched, the Screen Factory 4K. The Blu-ray's got the 4K transfer and everything else. This is, to me, is the best edition. Looks the best of any edition yet so far. I really like it. Let's see here. So I was going to show some other stuff, but here, let me show you this first. Oh, this is the Trick or Treat Studios Michael Myers. This is the 12-inch Michael Myers. This is the I probably should have left in this package, but I'm not a much package guy unless it's the retro cloth. This is the Evolution of Evil, old set of Michael Myers and the young Michael Myers from NECA. That's one minute here. This is the Mezco. This is the Ghost Bob with the jack-o'-lantern. Jack-o'-lantern, of course, lights up. Gotta turn it on. You see, it's very cool. I can get the little button here. See, my battery's so good, guys. If I can get my finger in there. I can't get my finger in there to turn it over. I'm gonna find something to stick in there to do it with. Ah, yeah, there it is. Cool. Even fucking flickers, man. Even flickers. He's even got the flicker. Very cool. Very cool. Let's see what else. I got my mask and all that stuff in there too. I guess I could take the phone off here real quick. Here. Let's have a look. Whoa. Over my chair. Get the rest of my room here. There's a Halloween wall. There's some of my PJ Souls signed stuff. PJ Souls figure. There's another PJ Souls sign. All this stuff right here. And also this Halloween wall, this poster was limited to 100 made. There's, of course, that one. Told you I had a Halloween wall. I wasn't BSing, man. There's a picture of all them together. The 4K from Screen Factory. That right there with a collage of different photos. So, yeah. Oh, there's my throw, my Halloween throw that I put on the back of my chair that I sit on. So, My Halloween stuff, big into Halloween, love it. Show you my Halloween tree. Oh my god, oh. Show you all my Halloween too, Halloween tree stuff. I probably got some other shit, man. I'm just not thinking about it right now. I had a great time with everybody. I told you a couple months I'm going to be doing something. I'm going to give you a hint. I'm going to make the month of December is going to be all about this film. Recognize it yet? Recognize it? And I'm not talking about the 2006 or that newest one. I'm talking about this one. December's going to be all about that. Also in my top favorites of all time. But December can be Black Christmas month. Black Christmas month. Um, Absolutely love it. It's gonna be fantastic. Thank you very much. Much love to everybody. Had a great time. Thank you to everybody for coming. Thank you to everybody checking out in the replay. Prism, you are the man. Thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed yourself. I hope I did a good commentary on it. I pride myself on being one of the greatest fans of this film. So hopefully I did it some justice. Like I said, have a great Halloween. Much love to everybody. And don't ever forget that I am GoreAphobe. You are not. Take it easy.